Another beautiful day out here at the river house. We got us a bluebird on the telephone wire. Haven't seen anything in our nesting platform yet, but it is whisper calm, which is perfect because I want to torch off this slash pile. That's the dead top of that big tree we took down, and a lot of dead pine needles in the bottom of that. It's going to go off like a bomb, so I want to do it right now when there's just nothing really going on. After that, those logs are on their way to Mom and Dad's, and when we peeled the bark, you could just see the beetle tracks. So you know, she was well and truly done for. But you might also notice beetle. That's just on this one piece alone. And I really don't want to introduce those. I'm sure they're already at Mom and Dad's, right? But it's not going to be my fault. So the idea is to get this fire going. We'll get the excavator out. I'll pick those logs up and drop them on each other and whatnot to start knocking the bark loose, and then the kiddo's going to have at it with a sharpened crowbar and feed all that bark into the fire. Get into those pine needles in there. I didn't even bother stacking this thing with like fuel in the center because I figured all them dry branches would be enough to get her going. Yeah, looks like they are. Okay. Let's go roast us. Let's go roast us some tree killing critters. I knew I didn't need to stack it. There's enough dry fuel in there to do it. Even if we don't get all of it, it doesn't really matter. Just gotta heat it up enough to burn them little bastards. Okay, let's get the oil checked on this. Start banging these logs around, because without a doubt, Mom and Dad are gonna find their way down here. They're on their way to Arizona for a month. You know, and so Dad was hoping to get here and just sort of line me out on some things. You know how it is, this isn't what I do. So just answer some questions about making sure I have the roofing metal on, in my head anyways, putting it on correctly. And I think we're gonna have to, well, I gotta put my fascia, right? And that's all gotta go on before the roofing metal, and gotta get the cricket for the stove. Still don't own that yet. Just some stuff like that. Take care of that stuff. Well, I potentially do own it. And in the crappy old river house, there's a stainless steel triple wall asbestos roof cricket. So half tempted to just take it out of there. It would have been for their kitchen trash burner stove. It's never been used. They had two stoves in that place, and so it's never been used. So I don't know what one costs. If it's in the 300 buck range or even 200 buck range, why shouldn't I? It's a cricket for the exact same kind of metal roof I'm putting on this one. Anyways, that kind of stuff. Gotta ask some questions, but look at that monster. Ooh, I'm gonna get me some bugs. Well, we're not entirely sure what happened, but we can't get bark off these sides of the logs. We got it off the other side, but I can't get it off this side. I also notice far fewer bug tracks and it's a lot wetter, so I wonder if this was the part of the tree that was still fighting them off. But yeah. I mean, we killed tens of thousands. Could be thousands left. If you can't peel it, you can't peel it, right? So, I don't know. We'll let them sit in the sun here and then maybe they'll pop loose. Who knows? Fire's burning down. We've raked the pine needles out of the rocks up above, just to, you know, keep it from spreading. That's probably it for that project for today. End of the day, I don't know, it's 7:30 or so. Sporting a sunburned redneck, as you might see from the little loopy-loops. There are 8 sheets of metal up there. Yeah, using the bucket truck as a crane is a little awkward. Using the jib boom would be much faster, with far less control. More importantly, the jib boom can't reach as high as this thing can. So we just set it up there 4 sheets at a time and screwed them down. So basically that's gonna be good. The current plan is to come almost all the way across this roof, leaving about, I don't know, 15 feet, 12 feet right here as the staging area. Then we'll put all the metal for the other side in that same location, and then we can just carry it up and over on top and place it down. But not taking any chimneys into account, not taking any vents into account, we'll just cut right through when time comes to do that. Just need to remember not to put the mastic tape down, because sticky stuff. Also, I have enough mastic tape to do 3 roofs. Not exactly sure why. But
it looks like this has been hit by a router. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
my gut tells me it's been hit by a chainsaw at some point. Yeah, oops. Anyways, we're headed home. I get my second Rona shot tomorrow, and as someone who's almost positive still has some breathing issues from a mystery sickness February March of last year. Pretty sure I had it, and I've been warned that if you've had it, the chances of getting a reaction are kind of high. So I'll probably come out here super early tomorrow morning and put up the rest of the 1x6 right there, and maybe take down some of that scaffolding, as we might need those boards. So that's, oh wow, you found a whole collection of crap in there. Huh.
And I also want to show you where I found that bottle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Shay found some treasures too. It's been a good day. Not a super productive day, but a good one. We're back. Gonna try to get some stuff done before I get the second stick there. I got the truck in position. I want to put up my 2x6 board across there. I can work on taking down some of that scaffolding. And as long as you got this monster, that's what we bought it for. No need for that scaffolding on the side of the house anymore. Yeah, and if that goes well, I get to do the same thing on the other side. This morning when I started it, the air compressor didn't want to go off, but I touched a few random things and it fixed itself. So, yeah, not building air pressure means not being able to release the brakes. I'm gonna have to work on that. Okay, I mean that worked all right. Yeah, limitations of the machine. It seems so big, but I really can't reach much farther than that. So if I'm gonna get to that back corner, we'll have to get the ass end of we'll have to get the duals on this ledge of rock right here. I don't know if that'll mean filling in the dirt or what. Definitely we're going to be erecting scaffolding for that back corner, which will kind of suck, but it's erecting scaffolding on the worst spot. But I won't be putting scaffolding up on all the rest. I think I'm going to spend a few minutes perusing the Telect website there and see if I can troubleshoot as to why the jib boom winch won't run. I'd like to get that figured out, because that would be super easy for us if we had that winch on there, because then I could, instead of hoisting off this point, I could just hoist off that point and then winch things up like a basket to me, and I wouldn't need quite as much help and assistance. It's up. Okay, I could have done that from the roof, but working downhill off the edge, I'm not afraid of heights, but I don't like that. Not a fan. Okay, so the way it works, you want to run the crane from the bottom. It's right here, the boom, right? But it only gives you up, down on the two sticks, and left and right. And left and right is stiff as hell. There's still something wrong in there. When this lever is forward, it energizes up here. When this lever is forward, that reduces the pressure to all of this, cutting it so that it's fine control. When it's up, that's just up. This is how it pivots the entire bucket. None of that was working earlier. I'd like to say I figured out why it wasn't working. All I did was trace the various wires and hoses to confirm the various things. Still don't know what these do. Not entirely sure. This one here is the jib boom. Which does work, but I think it's going to destroy its seals pretty quick. And that is the winch, which was super de-duper sticky earlier, but it's kind of wearing in now. Looks like it's not releasing the winch drum. This shaft here, I think, has been hit by chainsaws and stuff over the years. Wow. Cables to the winch drum, those are hot as hell. I guess they're all kind of hot as hell. Yeah. That's definitely what it is when that one's back, it lowers. Okay, so these all work now. Not sure what these are. This bucket, hey, that bucket pivot did not work before. Okay. That's good. That hissing, I think, there is supposed to be an on-off switch right here that triggers all of this. It appears to just be defeated and shoved up. I'm not sure it's shoved all the way up, and I suspect that might be what's causing this valve body to hiss so loudly. It's done that since I've owned it, but I can't get that to move up and down. So I suspect that that might be some of the hotness of the lines. I suspect that might be some of the jerkiness to the controls, along with, you know, operator error. So probably going to shut the old girl down now and tinker with that. It's got a nasty tendency to keep dieseling. It just wants to run and run and run. So, timing or fuel issues as well with the engine. But still, we've had some big improvements. Okay. So, in some ways, today was just to burn some time before the big stick, and then maybe get to know the truck a little better. I cannot get that control valve to stop hissing. I still think it's halfway closed. But see, the grip is it's got a lever inside attached to a cable, and you're supposed to be able to pull up on the cable, and that's supposed to pull up on the valve. The valve appears to be stuck all the way up. I readjusted the cable to pull all the slack out, and tried to use the leverage of the grip to move it a little bit, and it wouldn't go. It just tore through the cable mounts. So I'm not sure. There's nothing really for me to pry on. I'm a little hesitant to pry on things, a little hesitant to tap on things. So I'm gonna have to maybe work with that, and maybe it's supposed to hiss. I wonder if I can find anyone else on YouTube with a Teledex Yeah, it's on the other side. Telex boom truck like this. This is a 5051. So it's, I don't know what that means. I know it's a 51-foot boom truck. Nonetheless, I got all that off. The tops of some of that sheeting had not been screwed because I just couldn't reach it off the scaffolding, and that's now done. So, yay. We'll still need to figure out how we're going to cap all of this system up in here. That still needs to be done, but I got an inkling on how I think I want to do it. So, yeah. I believe we're going to go ahead and right, so I have had family that got this stick and had no reactions other than the soreness. However, we're very sure that I ended up with the Rona right there at the beginning. Made sense, school teacher and all that. And it seems to be that if you've had it, you react a little harder to the second poke. I can tell you that the other staff member, 2 other staff members have gotten the second jab. One had only a severe sore shoulder, like I had the first time, and the other, it laid him on his ass within a couple of hours, though he was all right the following Monday. So it just took out a weekend. If it looks like I'm going to survive, the goal, I think, is to go across the river today. Of course, for the first time in forever, there's somebody over there. But the water is down. It's going to start coming back up any moment. The water is down. Apparently it exposed where the old ferry flipped down there. Shay found a bunch of gears and old glass and stuff along that side. Supposed to be a lot of Native American artifacts. So maybe we'll find a, I don't know, airhead or something. According to the neighbor, in that old shed over there is a fully intact hand-cranked grain grinder, and he and I have both talked about making an expedition together to go and retrieve that. I was willing to do it for him. He thought it'd be a neat thing for me to put in the house. So who knows we'll end up with it, or who knows if it's still out there. And then there's dead bighorn sheep along the line, and I suspect that's what they're doing. But they've changed the law now that you can now possess a ram skull with the horns in Montana. You have to register where you found it, and then the Forest Service has got to tag it, plug it. Right? You can't sell it. You can pass it on to family. So I sure like. The neighbor is very sure that if you walk that little canyon right there, you can't see it from this. Right underneath the boom of the excavator, there's a canyon. He's very sure if you walk that canyon, he says you'll almost certainly find some dead big rams. Mike and I from school were always going to go and try to pack out some skulls. So that's not for today. I don't have the motor for Grandpa's old boat. I'm just going to row it. I haven't rowed a boat since I was like, geez, 20. It's been a decade or so, but you know, riding a bike and all that. And I used to row a fair bit. There should be no problem to row across the river. No problems at all. In fact, the very boat I inherited from my grandfather is the one I took out on the Sound out by Anacortes, and we rowed out to some of the islands, the bird nesting islands, just to check them out. But anyways, I'm rambling. I think I'm gonna call it quits here today. go on down and I got a few more minutes and sort of inspect the old boat trailer and at least find out what size trailer hitch I need to bring. But yeah, the boom truck's, so far she's doing okay, and a lot more stuff works right now than it did when I got here this morning. So score, right? Score. Days have gone by. We're back out this evening. Expected to be here a while ago, but they're putting them rumble strips down the center of the S-curves. So I don't know why they picked to do so much at once. Anyway, we were behind a wait for a pilot car sign for like 30 minutes, so we lost a lot of our daylight. But I'm just out here doing a little tinkering on the old bucket truck. I got that. Okay, this came from an auction somewhere. I believe it's an 840 work limit and 1/4-inch cable, I believe. 840 work limit cable. It might be 3/16. Actually, I bet it's 3/16. But that's fine. And I'd like to put the jib boom in, and I can slide it all the way in and just leave it in basically forever if we're going to do this, and then spool it on the cable drum up there. And you know, this is not a crane, and I'm not picking engines or rocks or logs with it. I just want to be able to lift up plywood siding sheets, the metal roofing sheets, and the drum is so much faster than folding the truck all the way up and extending it. So if I got a helper here, I can just run the drum line down and winch it up. And I believe it'll be a far more efficient system. You know me. Yeah. I'm always looking for efficiency. And the price is right, because I paid like nothing for it a decade, 2 decades ago. And big pile of crap, and I already got my money back. And I'm just using, that's just scrap lead that was poured in a tuna fish can, so I'm using that as the bobber weight, because 1, it'll help the cable spool better, and 2, you really got to have something heavy enough to give you a good old clunk, you know, when you bump into it. Otherwise, what's the point of any of this? Alright, it might not look like much. There it is, done. And I folded the knuckle all the way out, and I got 2 more grease fittings that were hidden in there, and I forgot one right here on the cable mechanism that keeps the buckets straight up and down. I notice it jerks. That might be the nature of the beast. It might be that I have one side that's not greased. It doesn't make any noise. I got a lot more cable on the drum than I can ever feed out, which is fine, because I'll never be down to the bottom wraps. So yeah, it was one of those things where if I cut it off at the right length, I'd have like 15-20 feet left. So the hell with it, we'll just roll it up in there. The only thing I'm not entirely sure about is that fiberglass coated steel jib, so that I guess I can't electrocute myself. Not really. But you know, where it's been vibrating in the rack, the smooth outer coating of fiberglass, the gel coat is off, and it is one nasty fuzzy ass mess. I'm a little concerned that leaving it sitting out like this will result in the entire tube becoming a fuzzy ass mess. And I don't really know how to deal with that. Nonetheless, I need it on there for the moment. So, one aspect that's not totally cool, of course, is depending on where the buckets are lifted, it will pull that winch point back up inside the truck. All I have to do is pull the pin, slide the jib boom out, and put it back up in there. But yeah, it's way faster than rolling it up again, and it is way more controllable. So there we go. We Fixed a couple more things on the old girl. I don't know if I need to fix the exhaust leak. Kind of coming attached to it. I did manage to stall it. I was up there running the manual controls down below, which I'm not as familiar on, and it was running not at a fast idle, and I stalled it so I can confirm 100%. You run it out of gas, you stall it when you're up there, you stay up there, because you know, it's power over hydraulics, man. She won't come down. She won't come down on her own. You need to run a truck to do that. So, he told me that was the case. It's good to see it. It's good to see it. Look at that sun going down. I think Shay and I are going to get out of here. He's still chipping at a little bit of stubborn bark. Judging from the noises, it's not going well. So I'll help him out for a bit, and then I think we're out of here. Nice work, dude. This weekend's prom. Friday's prom. Saturday's the 8th grade dance, leaving me only Sunday, and only Sunday after I pick up after the dances. So it's really unlikely I'll get a lot done over the weekend. So I suspect this is it. So from all of us out here in this fine, I guess there's a little mountain between worn out trees and stuff. Nice bit of mountain.